Hi, guys. Welcome to Chakra Sessions. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe. I am excited to see you guys today on this kind of cloudy day here in Western Massachusetts. I am here at Trinity Healing Sanctuary in the hills of Western Mass, and we are having a day of energy releasing and movement all around your foundation, how to create a stronger energy foundation. So welcome. Hello, Rob. What'd you know, Polly Jo? Love to start my show that way, and glad to see you. Good afternoon, Cindy, Lynn, and Ryan, too. How are you guys today? Glad to see you. Today is our chakra day. And in Chakra Sessions, we talk a little bit about our energy and what it does to impact our physical health and our emotional health. And hi, Abigail. I assume that means Emrys is with you. Abigail is one of my students who just had a baby last week. So congratulations, sweetie. He's quite a cutie himself. And hello, Robin. Glad to see you. Much love to you as well. I'm really glad to see you guys here and ready to go. This is one of the most difficult parts of our energy body is our foundation. It's kind of like building a house. You have a whole design in mind and you want all this, these wonderful things to happen in your house, but if you don't have a good foundation, then everything gets a little bit shaky. You have trouble with the walls, you have trouble with your pipes. And so you really need to have something really strong to build your house on. And our energy body is exactly the same way. If we don't have a good, solid foundation, then, everything else gets a little bit wobbly. And our energy foundation all starts in the root chakra, which is red in color. That's why I'm wearing red today. And it is also located kind of near our tailbone. And some people feel the energy more between their knees than they do near their tailbone. And some of you may not feel it at all, but it is like this round red orb. And if our orb that brings us energy for the base of our whole system, if it is wobbly or it's a little bit squished, it has trouble then supporting all the other chakras that go above it. And chakras are our energy centers. They feed things to help us with our emotions and with our physical health. So it's exciting when we can learn ways to take care of it. Hello. This is definite. It's funny because it says, Chakra Sessions. It's not me typing it in. That is definitely Neshi. So hi, Neshi. I'm glad to see you here as well. So our foundation is all about our safety, our security, and all of our basic needs getting met. So making sure that we have a safe house to live in, that we have enough money to buy food and clothes, that we actually have food and things like that. But also it's a way for our family to feel nice and safe and secure as well. So hi, Neshi, glad to see you. I thought it was you. And hi, Lindsay, glad to see you as well. And, here we are in spring. And I thought, what a great time to do a quick, round on each of the chakras to make sure that we're as steady as we can be as we go into this brand new time of new beginnings. Spring allows us to begin new projects, start a new chapter in our lives. And those of us who have birthdays in the spring, like Ryan, we literally start a brand new year. And so this is like a really cool time to kind of make sure that our foundation is in a good spot. So when we have trouble with the physical aspect of the first chakra, we're going to have pain in our feet, our knees, or our legs. and we may have trouble with our digestive system. So either we are constipated or everything's coming out too fast. And that's because either we have too much earth or we have way too much water, if we're having difficulty with that. But most of us who are a little bit older, we may have knee and hip and ankle and foot pain. And that all comes from, having a solid foundation. We've had times in our lives where, maybe we changed jobs or we got married or divorced and it impacted our financial status. We might have gone to college and have had some student loan debt that made it a little bit difficult. Or just the fact that, everyday stress can happen. And that will start to impact our emotions first, which will have us, or our thought patterns about how we feel about ourselves or what's going on. And then it'll start to impact our physical health. So if you're having trouble with your knees or your ankles or your hips in particular, or if you've had any broken bones at all, and then the other one that can happen is if you've had any trouble with your skin. So if you've had any breakouts, if you've had any rashes, and some of us might have some of those age spots that have been started appearing. Those are all connected also to the first chakra. And so that's the way it shows up. So we are going to do a meditation and clear some of the energy in there because we all have stuff that's stuck in there. And as I release the energy, for those of you who are new like Brian, I am going to be making some clearing noises that may sound like burps or squawks. And that's me releasing the energy for the entire group. So before we do the meditation, Neshi is perfect. She's reminding me, if you could just like or love and share this broadcast so that we can reach other people. It's how Facebook aligns their algorithms. And the more likes that we have and the more shares we have, the more our broadcast gets boosted. So we can reach some people that we wouldn't normally reach. And Abigail says, Emrys starts the hiccups. So Emrys is our newborn. He's not even a week old yet, who's here to join us for the meditation. And hiccuping, yes, is the way we start clearing. Hiccuping, sneezing are what you may do instead, or coughing. And that's just letting you know you're releasing energy too as we do the healing. So I encourage you to get nice and comfy. And as always, our intention is always that the healing is for the good of all and harm to none. So know that you can kind of relax in the healing and that what you experience is just for you, because this is an opportunity for you to ask your higher self and for the divine, however you perceive that, to come in and help you do some healing. And this is an ability that we all have. I'm just guiding you and reminding you how to do it. So you want to get comfortable, have your legs and arms uncrossed, because we don't want to cross any circuits, because we want all the energy to go into the ground that we don't need any longer. And the earth is going to compost it and turn it into new wonderful things like fresh air and clean water and beautiful new trees and plants. So don't worry about releasing energy either, because we're actually helping the earth when we don't hold on to our own garbage. All right, so
Yeah.
the clearing wants to start. So take a couple of deep breaths.
Yeah.
And really allow yourself an opportunity to call in the divine energy, however you perceive it. So whether you connect to God or Goddess or Creator or the Great Spirit, all that is, or the universe, you have your own beautiful way of connecting. So take a moment to feel that connection that you have, or sense how you connect.
Yeah.
Feel the weight of your body in your chair, the muscles, gravity just gently pushing down on you so that you are really firmly in your body and connected to the earth.
Yeah.
We might just take a moment to imagine our tailbone is a giant cord. And if you could imagine it extending out and down into the ground through the foundation or the floor of the building you may be in, going through the foundation into the earth, and that cord going all the way down through all the layers of the earth, past rocks and crystals and giant dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
Past our natural resources and ancient civilizations. And allowing that cord to go all the way into the center where there's the molten lava. And that's the original energy of creation. And that makes up the heart of the earth. And so we want to connect our cord to something really sturdy. You may imagine plugging it into a giant outlet. You could imagine it wrapping around a giant rock or dinosaur bone many, many times so that you create this huge anchor, keeping you connected to the earth.
Yeah.
Now we're going to call in the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of love and light. Infinite love and infinite light.
Yeah.
And setting the intention that this healing is for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves.
Yeah.
And we ask that our angels, our guides, our totem animals, our ancestors, any of our divine teachers or spiritual team, to come in and assist us with this healing today.
Yeah.
So that we may create a strong foundation for our body and for our health. In all the ways we can through our energy body, through the physical, the emotional, the mental thinking, and even the spiritual parts of ourselves.
Yeah.
And now we're going to notice the energy above our head. You may feel light, pressure, tingling, heat or cold. You may not feel anything at all. You may just simply know that the energy is there at the top, at our crown.
Yeah.
And we're going to begin to allow the energy to come through and clear and release anything that is blocking us, especially around our first chakra. that foundation of energy that supports us. So as it comes into our head, near our brain, just take a moment to allow any distracted ideas or thoughts, to-do lists that may be spinning,
Yeah.
to gently release, dissolve, and they'll still be there when we need them.
Yeah.
But this moment right now is for you and your own healing.
Yeah.
Allowing any beliefs or thoughts that we have around money and finances,
Yeah.
gently just dissipate, making room for new ideas, new energy to come in,
Yeah.
giving us clarity,
Yeah.
and the ability to hear and listen to our intuition.
Yeah.
And using that intuition to move forward in our lives in ways that support us and support others.
Yeah.
And opening all of our pathways of communication with the divine and with people, with our body,
Yeah.
so that we can be in a state of awareness,
Yeah.
really opening the throat and all the ways we express ourselves through our writing and our singing and our drawing, how we dress and how we decorate and how we create food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really just allowing the energy to clear in beautiful new ways.
Yeah.
Releasing any energy of burden that you may be holding on to for yourself or for others.
Yeah.
Opening the throat to be able to say yes and no when you mean it,
Yeah.
without worry, without guilt, without shame.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And beginning to clear your lungs and your heart so that you can breathe in life fully and allow that breath to go all the way down to the foundation, all the way down to that root chakra,
Yeah.
so that you can experience the fullness of the divine in each and every aspect, in each piece and part of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And really allowing the heart to receive healing so that it can lovingly support our energy foundation as well.
Yeah.
So filling with compassion while releasing all energy needed around forgiveness for yourself, for others.
Yeah.
Making room for you to speak kindly to yourself as the beautiful divine being that you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And moving into the upper belly, into the third chakra, and really clearing any energy around fear that you may be hanging on to in here. Fear of failure, fear of success,
Yeah.
fear of what others may think of you.
Yeah.
Releasing any anxiety that you may be feeling or overwhelm. Things that can happen when our safety or security feels gently threatened.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Calming the fire that runs through the adrenals.
Yeah.
So that your body does not have to act or react in fight or flight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Releasing any judgments or assumptions you may have about other people or that they may have about you. Any resentment or frustration around this as well.
Yeah.
Because this will all trickle through down into our root, into our foundation
Yeah.
of who we are.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's quite a bit in there. And also releasing any bullying energy that you may be holding, that others may be holding, and how that impacts your self-esteem and your self-worth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Allowing all the toxic energy and beliefs and thoughts to release.
Yeah.
So you do not need to carry them any longer if you don't need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now moving into your lower belly, into your second chakra, right below the belly button, and just allowing all the ways that you connect with other people, other things, all of the ways that you create flow in your life or attract flow in your life. Allowing that water energy to gently sway back and forth.
Yeah.
Releasing any ways we squeeze or hold on to relationships too tightly. even with things like money or controlling our food or our addictions or caffeine.
Yeah.
There we go. Really allowing the energy to flow down into the first chakra at the base of the spine, more in the back than in the front.
Yeah.
And here we want to clear all the energy we may be holding on to around our safety and our security, about our primal tribe, our original family.
Yeah.
There we go. Some good energy moving there.
Yeah.
And now in this foundation, in this first chakra, we're also going to connect and clear the energy in either hip socket. Because this is how we create abundance. And so if we're not allowing the abundance to flow from our hips into our first chakra, or from our first chakra into our hips, we create hesitations in our abundant flow.
Yeah.
Just allowing each hip to gently scrub and cleanse and release.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, moving into both knees, our right and our left. Each knee creates flexibility in how we are able to resolve obstacles or problems that we encounter. So feeling the energy flow from the first chakra through the hips, through the thighs, into the knees, and really releasing any energy we may have stuck there.
Yeah.
And if you feel any stuck energy, just be aware of whether it's on the right or the left. And we'll discuss that later. So just really allow both knees to release.
Yeah.
And then as it moves down through the shins and the calf muscles, clearing, really settle into the ankles and how those lovingly support us.
Yeah.
Then move into the feet, and sort of the arch of the foot, underneath it and on top of it. Really clear in there, for that allows us to ground our energy and connect in through the earth.
Yeah.
Aware of whether our arches collapse or they are tilt away from the center, and really allowing that to come back into balance.
Yeah.
Now we're going to clear the energy in our pinky toe, little powerhouse. that connects part of the grounding circuit for us. And then the toe next to it. And our ring toe.
Yeah.
Now the middle toe. On both sides. And the second toe. Now our big toe. And all this energy is carrying down the cord that we created, down into the earth, past all the layers, so that we don't have to hold any more that we're releasing. And now we're going to invite Mother Earth to bring energy up to fill us. And this time we're going to hold the intention that the energy color that is coming in is red. Beautiful, vibrant red. And as it comes up, it is creating this solid foundation, starting in our toes and our feet, up through our ankles and our shins. Moving in through the knees, clearing any arthritis as it fills.
Yeah.
In our thighs and into our hips.
Yeah.
Really allowing the hips to fill in this beautiful way.
Yeah.
Filling the whole pelvic floor. Moving that red up into our belly so that all our relationships have a nice solid foundation. And into our upper belly so that our sense of self is grounded in safety and security and abundant flow.
Yeah.
And then bringing that energy up into our lungs and our heart. So that we feel safe with all our feelings. Safe to express compassion and love for others.
Yeah.
And ourselves. Really feeling that safety to love ourselves fully.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then bringing the energy up through into our throat so that speaking our authentic truth and expressing who we truly are is at the core and the foundation of our energy body, of our being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then bringing it up into our third eye, into our forehead, so that all of our thoughts are grounded in this beautiful way, while expanded in our intuition, so that we know it is safe to be ourselves and connect with all the divine messages that we are open to receiving. And allowing that energy to move up through our crown, up through our divine connection, and cascade over us like a giant waterfall, filling in all the cracks and crevices in our aura and all the layers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really feeling that as it radiates out around us.
Yeah.
And now send any extra energy that you don't need back down to Mother Earth for her to heal herself, for she is the foundation beneath us. She holds space and supports us in every step that we take and all that we do and all that we are.
Yeah.
And take a moment of gratitude and thank your spiritual team for being here for you to help connect to them and to yourselves in this healing and creating a stronger support for yourself
Yeah.
in this moment. Perfect. Begin to take a few deep breaths and really connect to your energy right now, in this room, in this space. And when you are ready, you can gently return into the moment. Welcome back. So some of the things that happen in our foundation, ways that we block it, are we may have trauma, we may have had some things get shaken up at the core. If you've had to move a lot, if you've ever been in an accident of any kind, especially a car accident, those can impact your first chakra. You may have thoughts and beliefs that keep you ungrounded. Perfect. So Lindsay, I can't get it to pop up for some reason. Her comment is that was a real struggle for her. Not surprising, I'm sure, because grounding is very difficult for certain people who have a lot of creative energy flow. So if you have a strong artistic energy, it is very, very difficult sometimes to stay grounded because you're meant to be swirling with amazing ideas. And so getting grounded can be, very difficult. Sometimes you need water to ground as opposed to earth to ground. But that foundation really impacts all of us. And you can tell that, as I said earlier, on the physical realm, you can tell that if you have difficulty with your skin, if you have had difficulty with your spine or your bones, and if you've really had any trouble with your hips, your knees, your ankles, or your feet. Those are all big ones, or with your digestive system. So Cindy Lynn had said, welcome, Constance. Connie, glad to see you're here. And I love the fact that Ryan was falling asleep. Hi, Jacqueline. I didn't get to see you. Glad you're here. So Cindy Lynn mentioned that she had hips, has had issues with her hips since she was little. And I'd be curious to know if it's both hips or not. Oh, nice. Rob, I can't get any of the comments to show, at least on my end. So Rob said, wow, I got into it late and was distracted a couple times by work emails. But that was powerful. My legs have bothered me for years and why I can no longer run. My hips are a recent development. So one of the things that happens is we all block energy in particular ways. I am somebody who suffered some very severe post-traumatic stress. And I dislocated my pelvis at a very early age because of sexual trauma. So by 6 years old, I had dislocated my pelvis. I was held captive and was held strapped down. in restraints that weren't made for a child. So it dislocated my right pelvis, and I've had difficulty with that ever since. And my right hip is how I bring abundance into my physical life. My left hip never gives me trouble. And the left hip is how you create abundance in your spiritual life. So knowing which hip is which, your right side of your body, if you have issues on the right side of your body, it's how you are bringing your energy into your physical life, like what you do on a day-to-day basis, how you walk your walk. And on the left side of the body, it's how you do your spiritual side of yourself. It's also your masculine is your right side and your feminine is your left side. So sometimes if we have to be too aggressive or too persuasive or really feel a little bullying, that we have to be aggressive in how we handle our work, our life, to set boundaries, that's all down the right side. When we have difficulty on the left side, it's because sometimes we are having to nurture or caretake too much. So when we are not in sync, when we're not in the center, when we're not balanced, because ideally we walk our spiritual and our physical life equally. So it's like limping through our lives. And that's how I see the first chakra in particular. It's like what's causing you to limp. And so thank you, Jacqueline. I'm glad you thought that was very powerful. So the really interesting thing for me is that when I was a dance teacher, I had most of my injuries on the left side, on my left shin, on my left knee, and not my hip though, but it was really all on that side. And there were times when I wasn't channeling my choreography, when I was really worried about finances, when I was really in my physical life too much. It caused me to limp in my spiritual leg. And there was a point in my life where I went to college, because all our parents want us to go to college. I just wanted to open my dance studio. But I went to college to appease my parents. And I ended up with plantar fasciitis in both feet. So I literally couldn't walk at all. I spent 10 weeks on crutches and 6 months with a cane. And they actually told my mom with the injury, they weren't sure I would ever walk again initially. But I was determined. So that was because I was doing college not for me. I was doing it for my parents. I wasn't doing my calling, which was to be teaching. And so I was out of balance in my spiritual and my physical life. So it impacted both feet. And so if you've had anything like that happen, it can be losing a job, or it can be the possibility that you might lose income. It doesn't actually have to be in reality. Just the threat of it can start to set your foundation and make it rocky. This chakra is also developed when you are young, when you are from 0 to 6 months old. So if some trauma happened in your family in that time period, your first chakra would have had a trouble developing in the first place. So you would have come in with a faulty first chakra. And I had quite a bit going on in my life when I was little. And so that impacted my first chakra right off the bat. And there are many ways that when you know you have stuff going on in that first chakra, you can start to remedy it, start to bring it into balance. Rob says, ouch. Yeah, there was a lot of ouch for a while there. And it's interesting. My Achilles tendonitis will act up on the right side of my body when I am allowing somebody else to create my physical life for me. I guess that's probably a hard way to explain it. So if I give up what I want for what a family member wants and I sacrifice me, then my right Achilles starts to hurt. And when my Achilles starts to hurt on the right side, I know that I've come out of balance for myself. That's when I know my people pleaser has gone into effect. So you can start to read the signals within your own body of what's not working for you. So the first chakra, if you need to do some work on it, if you need, if you're having trouble with your hips, your knees, your feet, or anything like that, your skin, one of the things you want to work on is making sure that you are able to ground more easily. That's that cord part of the meditation. It's going outside in nature and really connecting to the earth. Lay flat down on it if you can when it's not muddy. And put your back up against a tree, like sit underneath a tree and allow the tree to show you how to create roots. They're really willing to do that, especially this time of year. The birch trees are really about transformation and new beginnings. So the birch trees have a lot of energy right now, but cedar and oak really like to clear and ground as well. But really you can use any tree because they're quite happy to help teach you how to ground your energy. And anything red. Start to bring red into your environment. Put it on for the day, or put a red, note card on top of your computer while you're working to keep you grounded. The color red will actually do that. I know some people believe it causes anger. It is a power color, but when you're grounded, you're more rooted, and so your power energy increases. So that's why it can be seen that way. And any crystal that is red is really helpful. I love to use the raw garnet for building up my first chakra energy. If grounding is your difficulty, then hematite is another one that can help specifically with clearing and grounding. Believe it or not, I take 2 very small hematite stones and I tape them with medical tape to my pinky toes at night when I feel ungrounded. And that way I don't short circuit. I'm somebody who likes to travel in my sleep. And so if I use the hematite and on my pinky toes, that actually will pull my energy body in. Yes. So Robin said, wonderful today. Very little clearing for me today. Wondering if healing oils being burnt in front of me changed things a bit. So yes. And Robin, you might also not have a very weak first chakra because this was mostly about the first chakra. And so don't feel sad if you didn't feel a lot move. I'm sure plenty moved throughout your body, but that's okay. It means that your first chakra is probably in pretty good shape, and that's helpful. We all have a few good chakras, and it's nice when your first chakra is clear because then it gives everybody a chance on top to have a solid foundation. But yes, even oils clearing can help. If you burn any oils that have to do with trees that have a tree element in them, those will all begin to clear. So I know that you use doTERRA. So obviously the grounding blend works really well for first chakra. But if you use the white fir or the Siberian fir or even the eucalyptus and the sandalwood, cedarwood, all of those will help with the first chakra. So that also could mean you don't have to clear as much because the oils were helping you work your way through. So Rob said, seeing red comes from bullfighting. Bulls are colorblind. It's the motion and the provocation that put the bull in that mindset. Yeah. And that's the thing. When you're in a place of power and you can imagine you're the matador, and you're swirling, you're solid, you're in a place where you are ready to move and you're ready to take action. And that's that red energy, that grounded energy of ready to take action is what puts us there. So thanks, Rob, for that helpful connection. And so in terms of oils, thank you, Robin, for asking about that. Anything to do with trees will help support your first chakra. I did channel a healing remedy that is called the first chakra blend. So if it's something that's problematic for you, you can get that on my website. And I'll try to type it in here. I'm not good at having my channel open and using the other side of my brain at the same time. So I hope that says trinityhealingsanctuaries.com. It looks about right. So that's where you can look for the oils that I have. And on top of the first chakra blend, there's a really good blend that's called the grounding blend. That really clears away stuff that's at your foundation. And that one is available not only in a roller ball, but it's also, we have a diffuser blend, so you can just put it in the diffuser and allow it to just wash over you while you're working or while you're sleeping. And we also have it in a spray because some people can't use the roller ball right on their skin, so you can just spray it. That's kind of like sage in a way in a bottle, but it's causing the energy to go right into the ground. So it's releasing that for you. Thank you. So Neshi put up the right thing. I can't see it. I'm going to put it up in hope that, maybe you guys see it. But it's trinityhealingsanctuaries.com/lens. And then she has the rest of it there. And that will show you how to get the oils from me if you would like that. Those are all channeled recipes. And after I channel the recipe, I look up the properties for each of the oils to see why the divine was telling me that those work together. And it always makes sense from a scientific point of view afterwards, but I don't question it. That's just how it works. So Robin says, guess the kids will have to set me up another one, which is totally okay. When we are working on the root chakra as well, sometimes it's good to think about what foods you eat. So the root chakra, the first chakra, our foundation, likes things that come out of the earth. So all of your root vegetables, the potatoes, the onions, the carrots, anything that grows beneath the earth is very, very helpful. And in addition to that, the really dark, leafy green vegetables are very good as well. So if you think about things that have a high iron content, those are going to be good for you as well. And if you do eat meat, this is when you would use the meat from an animal that's larger, because they're very connected to the earth. So bison or beef, any of the big ones, it's really, the smaller the animal, the more air and water content, believe it or not. If so birds have more air than they have, and, even pigs are more water. So the big animals, those ones have a lot more density to them. So the density of the protein can be helpful. So that, you don't have to use that for your own thing, but that will help you with grounding. And for some people, not everybody, some people, coffee is very grounding, because of how the beans are done on the earth. I don't recommend it if you're somebody who has anxiety or anything like that, but I know a lot of healing workers, coffee actually calms their energy down. And so that is another piece that you can use. So my guides are giving me this little, somebody must smoke in the group. Cigarettes are not grounding. Some people may feel calmed down when they have them, but it's actually impacting just the airflow in your lungs, so that it's giving your brain a misfeed of misfire, thinking that it's the cigarettes that are calming you down. It's actually what's calming you down is that you have less airflow, which seems strange to me, but that's part of what happens. And then the smoke does, for a quick instant, sort of sage your energy field, but as it's saging your energy field, it's also creating small tears in it at the same time. So it sort of gives your brain a false read. So Robin said, if red is grounding, why do I never feel grounded? Probably because that chakra is smaller for you than your other chakras. We all have a specific life purpose, and the life purpose has to do with what we're meant to do. And all of our chakras match how we are meant to move forward with our gift. So if you have a lot of artist energy or a lot of creative energy, often you need to be up in the, in the ethers, grabbing the divine inspiration. Or if you're a big visionary, you need to be grabbing that divine inspiration, and you're not always fully rooted for that to go all the way down to your foundation. It may root in your heart. And so I find that a number of people who are healers who channel, sometimes their first chakra is actually quite small. Their energy system will go up and look like a martini glass. Lindsay, who may still be on here or not, but that's how they create the vision. So you can imagine that your Hara line might not be a straight line, is another thing that could make you feel not grounded. And some of us, grounding is not our best thing. I have difficulty grounding. I have to focus strongly on it. When I channel a lot, I short circuit my ground quite a bit. So that may be another thing that happens for you. So if you can imagine, like, my first chakra is about 5 inches in diameter, but my sixth chakra is like this. It's wider than my head. So it's a little unbalanced. So sometimes all of that flow can make you feel ungrounded. But I'm sure if you use the balance blend on your feet, it should start to help you feel more in your body. And if not, then you need to be diffusing it, because most of my empaths and healers, once they inhale it, they're right in their body. And if that doesn't work, then contact me, because my grounding blend is even stronger. It's like balance on steroids. So Catherine says, I'll go back to playing in the dirt and try to smoke less. Yes, good idea. And Rob said, asphyxiation is relaxing but damaging. You're also calming an addiction, right? And the addiction is taking place in the second chakra. So it's impacting your water flow and your abundance flow. And if you think about it, you have a toxic relationship with your cigarettes, and that's what's going on. So Lindsay said, yep, because she knows she's one who looks like a martini glass energetically. So I hope that this has helped you and given you some ideas. My plan is to, in the next few days, to post some affirmations and some information specifically about first chakra on the Chakra Sessions page, so that you can tap into that when you need it. And then I want to remind everybody to, check out this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The beautiful Neshi will be here doing communications from home. And she has another lovely, she's doing a unity meditation that I'm looking forward to. So that is another thing to tap into. And I will be here tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. where we do card readings and the full clearing meditation of your whole energy body, not just one particular system. And I look forward to seeing you then. And as always, have a beautiful day and go out there and shine your light. So have a great one, guys. Bye.